What defines you? You know, when that question is asked, a lot of times we like to give our titles. Oh, well, I'm a dad. We like to give our accomplishments. You know, I'm four-time reigning MVP of whatever. We begin to give our job description. Oh, well, I'm an insurance salesman, or I'm a this, or I'm a that. But let me ask you something. What if those things were stripped? Would you still understand your worth? Or are you defining and basing your whole identity upon those things? I believe the Lord's wanting to shift something in you, where He begins to define your innermost being, your quintessential nature, just who you are, what makes you up. He wants to define that root instead of letting the world and honestly ourselves define that. You know, what does the Lord say about you? You know, in His Word, He makes a ton of promises about who you are and how He defines you, that you're made in His image, that you are His ambassadors, that you're His representatives, that you're His chosen people, that you're valuable. And then He goes on to say that you're valuable. Think about the thoughts that He has about you. He says that the thoughts that He has about you in a single day exceed the number of sand. That's a lot. And so what He's wanting to do is get that worth, that value that He sees about you, rooted inside of you so that you can begin to live the life that He's called you to live. But so many of us are wrapped up and tied up in what we think about it and what others think about us, and we accept that as our definition of who we are. And here's the problem with that is we live and we die by their approval, by the approval of people, and by the rejection of people. So when people like us, hey, I'm worthy. But when people don't like us and they reject us, I'm not worthy anymore. And the Lord's wanting to let you know that at the very root, at the very core, when you were made, He made you with a purpose. He gave you His stamp of approval. He gave you a calling on your life, and that you are worthy, so worthy that He sent His Son to die for you. Even whenever you were in the midst of all of that sin, He chose to die for you and give you a new life, a new creation, one that isn't defined by the world or what you maybe think about yourself, but one that is defined by Him. And He calls you His. He calls you His children. Think about that. What are you letting define you?